Hey friends, what's going on? Welcome back to the Daily Dose. Coming at you with day number 182 today. That's right, we are on the 182nd day of our Bible reading plan. The scripture that we're looking at today is Jeremiah 51 and 52 and Psalm 27. So we are approaching the end of the book of Jeremiah. And what we're going to be looking at today is kind of a continuation from where we left off yesterday in regards to a message to Babylon, right? That message to Babylon started in yesterday's reading material, and it kind of carries over and continues into today's. So after the message to Babylon is over with, then there is a section that talks about the fall of Jerusalem, and then we read a little snippet towards the end about Jehoiachin being released. Okay, so if we go back up to where we're starting out today, at the beginning of chapter 51. I'm just going to read a little bit of the scripture that talks about this continuation, this message from Babylon. So it says, I will send foreigners to Babylon to winnow her and to devastate her land. They will oppose her on every side in the day of her disaster. Flee from Babylon. Run for your lives. Do not be destroyed because of her sins. It is time for the Lord's vengeance. He will repay her what she deserves. Babylon was a gold cup in the Lord's hand. She made the whole earth drunk. Sharpen the arrows, take up the shields. The Lord has stirred up the kings of the Medes because his purpose is to destroy Babylon. The Lord will take vengeance for his temple. The sound of a cry comes from Babylon, the sound of great destruction from the land of the Babylonians. The Lord will destroy Babylon. He will silence her noisy din. Waves of enemies will rage like great waters. The roar of their voices will resound. A destroyer will come against Babylon. Her warriors will be captured, and their bows will be broken. For the Lord is a God of retribution. He will repay in full. So that's just a little bit about what is said in the continuation about this message to Babylon. So after that, we look at the fall of Jerusalem. Now, we've already looked at some of this, but this is a detailed recount of what was kind of a brief summary that we have looked at in previous days, right? There is pillaging and destruction of the temple, and also the temple items, the accessories, the things that go along with the temple. So starting out at verse 17 of this section, it says, The Babylonians broke up the bronze pillars, the movable stands, and the bronze sea that were at the temple of the Lord, and they carried all the bronze to Babylon. Okay, so here we see them plundering and taking the things that they thought were potentially of value, these bronze items. They also took away the pots, shovels, wick trimmers, sprinkling bowls, dishes, and all the bronze articles used in the temple service. So essentially, they are making a killing from all of this bronze stuff that they're taking. The commander of the imperial guard took away the basins, the censers, the sprinkling bowls, the pots, the lampstands, dishes and bowls used for drink offerings, and all that were made of pure gold and silver. So they're cleaning house. Taking everything and anything that they think is worth money. So Judah went into captivity away from her land. This is the number of the people Nebuchadnezzar carried into exile. In the 7th year, 3,023 Jews. In Nebuchadnezzar's 18th year, he came back and 832 people were carried into exile from Jerusalem. And then in his 23rd year, 745 Jews were taken into exile by by Nebuzaradan. That was the commander of the imperial guard. So there were 4,600 people in all that were taken into exile. And now we come to this last little snippet. It talks about Jehoiachin being released, okay? So in the 37th year of the exile of Jehoiachin, king of Judah, in the year of Awel Marduk became king, in the year that Awel Marduk became king of Babylon. That was, Nebuchadnezzar's son. On the 25th day of the 12th month, He released Jehoiachin, king of Judah, and freed him from prison. He spoke kindly to him and gave him a seat of honor, higher than those of the other kings who were who were with him in Babylon. So Jehoiachin put aside his prison clothes and for the rest of his life ate regularly at the king's table. Day by day the king of Babylon gave Jehoiachin a regular allowance as long as he lived, till the day of his death. So that's interesting. It makes me wonder what it was about Jehoiachin that that made the up and coming king of Babylon look so favorably upon him, right? It makes me wonder: did Jehoiachin renounce what little bit of faith he may have had, and did he just totally just flip the script and become a sellout for Babylon? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how that went down, but it is interesting and it does make me wonder. So that's all we got for today. I appreciate y'all's time and thank you for being here. And just like I say almost every day, I'm going to say it again today. I encourage y'all to jump into the scripture, read it with your own eyes, or if you're like me and you enjoy listening to audiobooks, sometimes I just listen to the Bible via a Bible app when I'm driving around throughout the day, right? So if you've got a hectic schedule or you're on the road a lot, or you just retain information better when you hear it than when you read it, you don't have to open up the Bible and read. I think that's best. But you can also definitely open up an audio version of the Bible, which you can find readily available for free in all kinds of places, and listen to today's scripture. So anyways, thank y'all for being here again. I appreciate your time, and till we meet again, deuces.